Scientists warn, stop sending signals into space trying to contact aliens. And it's true, they have warned it before, and we are trying to and are sending signals out in space looking for other life that is out there. But are we prepared for that life, whatever type of form of life that it is, for it to make contact with us? And does a handful of people speak for the majority of the people on Earth? That's a good question to ask right there, because there may be a handful of people, on Earth who may know of some other types of civilizations out there. And maybe they are willingly and knowingly sending out a signal saying, okay, now it's time. Now it's time for you to come. Now, I don't think it's too far-fetched to think that that type of a scenario could happen. I don't. And, what if somebody is really just a handful of people are really curious and they just want to know, does life exist out there? Because we think it does. We think we've heard signals from something out there, but we don't know, and we really would love to know. Now, there are some who are completely innocent in their search for other life other than what's on this earth. There are, but then there are some who may not be so innocent. So I want to look at this little article right here, you all, about the scientists, some of them, I'm sure there's a lot of them, warning, stop sending signals into space, trying to contact aliens. There may be a whole lot of them out there who may feel the same way. So let me do this, you all. Let me come over here because I don't know what's wrong with my signal. Hello there in Yasharala, Israel. That is a demon, and it's not an alien. Oh, you see, I can let me play moderator. I'm going to play moderator on here. I am, and I can do this. We can make this about that. I can block people. I can delete comments. If you're rude and disrespectful, I'm trying to have a very serious conversation here. And there are some who just want to interject in a very negative way. And this is not what this is going to be about. You're not going to come on here and hijack this live stream. Okay, you're not. You can speak about this on your own YouTube channel. You really can, if you can get the viewers. But I would encourage you to do it in a loving, kind way, because love is the way forward. It's most definitely the way forward. And you'll get a lot more acceptance when you bring forth a message or anything you have to say in love instead of something very, very, very negative, because those with a loving heart on the inside who resonate on a love frequency, they are not going to accept negativeness. And I don't blame them. I don't either. If somebody's got something to share, since I've got the platform now, if somebody's got something to share and they really want to get that message out, their tone of voice and their energy plays a major role in whether or not that message is going to get out and be received by those who are listening and those who you may want it to reach. Hello. So let's look over here, you all. That's right. Hello, Jacob and Dwight. Hello, Flu World Order. That's a different type of, yeah, that's what it is. I think these scientists are obfuscating, alluding to the idea that there aren't thousands of alien craft that are present right now. We're going to look at an article. We are, you all. Hello there, Chairmania number 1. Yeah, so let me click into this right here. I'm going to get to the article while I play moderator at the same time. I do have the ability to multitask. I do. So let's come on over here. I've already put the link inside the description. If you say, Gina Honey, where's the link to the article? You'll find it right here. Curiosimos something.com. That's what it is. So let's come on over here, you all. We're going to look at it. Yes, we are. We are going to look at it, and that's right. So scientists warn, stop sending signals into space trying to contact aliens. That's what they warn you all. I don't know what this thing is. I don't, but I'm going to tell you what. Let's see if there's anything going on the desktop audio. Nothing else is going on there, you all. That's right. It's not. That's right, Barbara. Love is the key to everything. So they hypothesize. So they ask the question, what if aliens aren't the good guys that we are expecting? The day that the human race finds out that we are not alone in the universe will likely redefine society as we know it. Everything will change. If we discover that there is intelligent life elsewhere in the cosmos, planet Earth will abruptly change. Religion will no longer be what it was before. Endless possibilities in terms of technology and science could appear, and perhaps the human race will then come together as one. Now, no, we don't want to call the Borg. We don't want to call the Borg in here at all. I don't want to call it. And I'm sure a lot of other people don't. This is an article. If you're just tuning in, I'm reading an article. And this article right here that I am reading, let me just say, the article that I am reading does not express, it may or may not express the views that I have on extraterrestrial life form. It may or may not express the views I have on the human race and who may be in the bodies of some of this human races, of some of the human race on this planet. So let me just say that right now. It may or may not express how I feel about a lot of things in this life, okay? But I'm going to read it because it's a very interesting article, and it brings up some questions, and it really makes a person think somewhat. That's right, you all. It makes them think somewhat. So let's get back to it. So we're going to come back over here. You can see that this was written by Ivan Petrasievich, posted on March 3rd of 2019. It's a 3-minute read. I think we can read for 3 minutes. Yes, we can. We will. We'll read for 3 minutes, you all. So we're starting back here. If you just tuned in, welcome. Maybe it says, maybe even borders will disappear. We will stop thinking about building walls to separate countries, and we'll start to colonize other star systems that now seem impossible to reach. Maybe aliens will be kind and benevolent, and maybe they will share the secrets of the universe with us. That's a best case scenario. But what if aliens aren't the good guys that we are expecting? 2 German researchers have recently said that contacting aliens may not be as pleasant as some believe. The researchers from the University of Freiburg argue that we should cease all attempts at communicating with potential extraterrestrial beings. The reason, if we continue sending signals into outer space and someone actually answers, a possible catastrophe could follow. Professor Michael Sketche, we're over here reading, and Dr. Andreas Anton warned that contact with an alien race with a similar kind of a capitalist economic structure is a terrible idea. In their latest book, The Alien Society, Introduction to Exosociology, I've never heard of that before, you all. I really never did. The researchers draw parallels with our own history when developed societies with a capitalistic mindset conquered and almost annihilated less developed ones. Now that's true, you all. It is true. Hello. Yeah. Oh, thank you for volunteering, you all. I'm going to keep an eye on this, you all. I am. So let's read about this, you all. We're reading about, they said you should stop trying to contact the aliens. One example is when Europeans arrived on the American continent. It'd be a showdown between Bambi and Godzilla. And we would be Bambi in this case, says Michael Shest, whatever he is. So according to these two people, there are three possible scenarios about contact with, alien races. The study of world civilizations and their dynamics. I love it. I love the nice short definition of it. No, we don't want to be colonized. We don't at all. Hello, you all. Oopsie. Let me do this. I just wanted to come on here and read a book. Okay, I really did. Not a book, just a little article, 3-minute read. So there's three possible scenarios according to these two. Remote contact. In this scenario, the Earth would receive a distant signal from an extraterrestrial civilization, and it is currently the only research scenario of the American SETI, which is searching for extraterrestrial intelligence. I can't even say it. Considers that his research has this research has defects because contact can also be made in other ways, and contact can be made in other ways. Yeah, they probably are scared. If they think about it, maybe the third eye is not opened or something. Maybe. I'm just saying. Yeah. So there's another scenario, indirect contact made through an artifact, you all. We would contact aliens in the Earth's vicinity, discovering some ancient probe or suspicious space debris in this scenario. It would be artifacts that demonstrate the presence of an extraterrestrial entity that would have visited the solar system long ago. So that's the second possible scenario. Now there's another one. Direct contact with an alien race or an extraterrestrial. Hello. So direct contact. In this scenario, we would contact the extraterrestrials directly with a flying object containing aliens. However, it's not been ruled out that such spacecraft could be directed by artificial intelligence or by some machine. What's more important here is that through this, there could be communication with an alien civilization. So let's pause right here. Let's pause. So the third way, they said during direct contact. And they said in this scenario, we would contact extraterrestrials directly with a flying object containing aliens. However, it has not been ruled out that such a spacecraft could be directed by artificial intelligence or by some machine. Why are they talking about artificial intelligence? And why are they talking about extraterrestrials directly inside of an aircraft or by some kind of machine? Isn't there like a story, or isn't there a theory of an advanced alien artificial life form, advanced alien race that is super intelligent, much more intelligent than ours? You know, I saw this one link to this one book on here, how this person wrote this book, and they, like the Chinese, sent out a signal to space, and they got the signal back, and it was from another race, and they wanted to welcome this race, but then this other, who they contacted, they wanted to help straighten the earth out. Some thought they came in peace. Others thought they were invading, and it's just a big old mess, you all, is what it was. A great big mess. But let's look at this, you all. Some scientists warn not to do it. Two researchers also warn that confronting the aliens may not be the only problem that could threaten life on Earth. In a what-if scenario, the researchers say that humanity could one day discover an alien probe somewhere in the solar system and bring it back on Earth. This technology may be far more advanced than anything we've ever seen. Bringing the probe back to Earth and reverse engineering, which is we know they do that, we do, with it, and reverse engineering in their lust for knowledge and rare exotic technologies, governments as well as private corporations could doom the planet that we live on, as alien technology may be too dangerous for us to study or even possess. To prevent numerous possible catastrophic outcomes, the two scientists say that the UN must play a role and prevent research groups and individuals from sending deep space signals that could alert aliens of our presence. So just think, an individual could send a signal out into space and alert them. And it doesn't even have to be a government entity. It doesn't have to be a military entity. It could be a private entity with its own plans. It could be that right there. It really could. So that's something that's quite interesting. And that's the end of that article right there, you all. But what if? So when they're talking about the scenario, we would contact the extraterrestrials directly with a flying object that was containing aliens. Let me take you back over to last night. Okay, you know they had the Roswell incident, and they did their autopsies and stuff like that. They did, and then last night, what was that on, you all? I'm trying to get to it. Okay, I did this last night, right here, Roswell, New Mexico, right there. There was something else that we read in this here, and it was about a spaceship landing in South Africa last night. A spaceship landed in South Africa, and it's in last night's video. And the South African army, they thought they shot it down, but when the spaceship was there and all these crews came, they saw the landing stairs were out, and they took away two individuals, two beings that were in that. They contacted the United States and they took them to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, two of them, in exchange for technology. That's what happened in last night's video. You should go watch it. It's toward the middle, I think. It actually happened, and they said that right there is as big as Roswell, because South Africa or Africa wasn't allowed to have any technology for some strange reason, but they made a deal with the United States, and that's where they took them. Well, unbeknownst to them, you all, are you still here? Unbeknownst to them, there was one more passenger that was alive, and they stayed, that passenger, that extraterrestrial, that being, stayed there in, I think, Africa, in something like some kind of Camp 13 or something like that. But there were eyewitnesses saying that they saw this happening, you all. They did, like a pod. They pulled them out of a cylinder or something, these beings, and they were alive. And they ended the article that we read last night. They don't know if they're still alive today, but this happened, I think, in 80 something, you all? Do you remember that if you watched the live video? Because that was supposed to be as big as Roswell, but it was hush hush that they had some that were living. That's right, you all. So that was, so this right here, direct contact, to me, that would be direct contact. In that scenario, they would contact extraterrestrials directly with a flying object containing aliens, because this one didn't crash land. The landing gear came out, and that's how that happened, you all, there, just like that. And they said the people were in shiny silver suits, is what they said. And they were around 4 feet tall. They had great big heads, giant heads, and big eyes. It was disproportionate to their body, and they had feet and hands. is what they had. So that's happened last night in the live video. So what this article is talking about, they said you need to quit contacting aliens. You see this right here? You see this? This morning on the porch. Well, I think I did that. This morning on the porch when I was walking, I was talking about why people don't believe in like UFOs or something like that, is what I was saying. Why don't they believe in UFOs? And because it is hard for people. And I was talking about, there's like a disconnect maybe there or something like that. But then why doesn't people see aliens? That's what I think I said. I can't remember exactly. If they exist, why can't we see them? And some people can see them. They can. And I spoke about a photo that I took in my yard back in 2018, maybe very early 2019. And I caught them. I caught them. I'm going to show you them right here. I caught them right there. You can see that this is the head right there. Here's the prominent brow line right here. There's two of them, one here and then one here. And you can see this one right here, it's like got his hands up above his head. You can vaguely see them right here again in this area. And here's some more views. I worked the picture, you all. Look at that. So I did capture them. You can see their eyes right here. This one right here, these right here had looked like tiny eyes, but an enormous head. Enormous heads. And they didn't like this. They didn't like their picture taking, obviously, and I don't know what was going on. I was working on my she shed, putting insulation in. You can see it down here at the very bottom. You can see the hands going up in the air. It kind of looked like a pinchers on them. And I didn't know I had captured them. That was with my iPhone outside with my clip-on lens. It picked them up just like that is what happened. So they do exist. They do. And they're on another dimension. And I think contact has already been made. I think direct contact has been made. And they say, was it Eisenhower, Truman, whoever it was, made contact, made a deal with the extraterrestrials in exchange for technology. Just like the scientists in that article were talking about the scenarios. Well, I think they got I think all of these, y'all listen, I think every single scenario right here that they spoke about, the 3 possible scenarios, I think every single one of these have already happened. Every single one. This is not wanting to do it. All of those. The remote contact, the indirect contact, and direct contact. Every single bit of it, but not on a wide scale. That's what I think. Not on a wide scale. You used to draw alien faces as a child, but you don't know why. Yeah. So that's it, you all. I'm going to end this video. It's a short video, but they are still sending signals out into space. They are. SETI is. They're looking. And we know it's probably working in connection with CERN. Probably is. Since it's a scientific, they're all one big scientific community with many. There goes my throat trying to itch again. Every time I talk about a certain something, my throat itches right there. It's strange. Now I'm going to have to go. I can't say any more. I can't. So with that being said, hello, wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello. From my heart to yours. Love you. Have a wonderful rest.